Notice of the public meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session and workshop on Wednesday, May 23rd, 2012, at 5:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Executive session, item A, consultation with attorney pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.0712 on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Texas Government Code Chapter 551.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to go into.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Whenever you guys want to do it's okay. I can always, I mean, it's your choice.
Okay, guys.
Okay, workshop item, City of Brownsville Purchasing Department Policies and Procedures.
Do I start? Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have it's ready? Okay. Well, I'm going to be really brief. I have up to 80 pages. I'm just going to browse around, and then I'm going to come back with, just in case if there's any questions. What you see on the screen, it's basically a procurement. What you see on the bottom is basically what we have in our business cards, and it reads to effectively and effectively manage, facilitates, and provide the highest quality value-added procurement services that exceed the needs and expectation of our customers through knowledge and a strong understanding of the market. There we go. Basically,
Roberto, could you get just a little bit closer to the microphone?
sure. Can you hear me better now? There we go. Okay. Public purchasing is the process of acquiring all the goods and services that are necessary to provide the public with those services that they require. Now, we have an example over here for the private sector purchasing they have several goals. Among those goals are purchase the proper goods and services to suit the business needs, get the best possible price for the goods and services, have the goods and services available where and when it's needed, assure a continuing supply of needed goods and services, and guard against any misappropriation of the business's assets procured by purchasing. Now, for public purchasing, we have these goals as well, but however, the public purchasing must also assure that responsible bidders are given a fair opportunity to complete the government's business. This is done partially by a statutory requirement for competitive bids and proposals, and partially by the city's own purchasing procedures. Public funds are safeguarded, although the purchasing office does not usually designate the types of purchases to be made. It should see that the best value is received for the public dollars. And then the last one is the public spending is not used to enrich elected officials or government employees or to confer favors on favored constituents. Okay, so it's basically what we have. We have a code of ethics. If I would like to go over that, but I believe I included it last time I gave you a package. So I'm just going to go straight to what it is, what's a sealed bid, a proposal, and SOQs, what bundings are, and all of that. We also have the Nepotism Prohibitions. That's under Government Code, Chapter 573.001 of the Government Code. It's included in the procurement policy, and we also include definitions and language on bid packages. We talk about consanguinity, okay, under the ethics and under the, going back to the nepotism. Consanguinity is a relationship that shares common bloodlines or descendants from a common ancestor. And affinity, it's a relationship by marriage. So those are the two types of under the nepotism. And this is the chart. Now under procurement, under $500, we have the following. No quote shall be required for these purchases. However, the use of a procurement card shall be necessary. Department directors shall approve the issuance of a procurement card or a P card to their employees. The purchasing card is issued exclusively to each approved employee. No other person is permitted to use the card. Purchases cannot be made for the same vendor on a consecutive manner. Vendors do not accept the P card. Vendors that do not accept the P card, must request a purchase order, and each department director must approve these transactions. P card holders are required to take a policy and procedures exam prior to the issuance of a P card. And these are some of the restrictions. They're listed in there. Now we go to procurement between 501 cents all the way to
Could you hold the
$34,999.99.
presentation until we have a quorum again?
You already quorum for
That's a workshop? Sorry. I thought we were in direction. Go ahead.
You want me to continue?
Go ahead.
Okay, these purchases require 3 formal written quotes, and a commodity quotation form should be used to tabulate the results. These quotes must be submitted on vendor stationery only, and the original quote submitted must be uploaded and attached in Logos. Logos is the system that we have internally to handle requisitions and purchase orders. If a requisition is for the installation or construction work, the vendor is required to submit a copy of their certificate of liability, automobile insurance, and workers' compensation. Also, the vendors are required to obtain construction permits and provide certifications and any other required state license. Those are the requirements for construction. This is a screenshot of Logos, what it looks like. I'm sorry, I apologize for that, but it's kind of small. Those are the quotes that are uploaded into the system. This is the commodity quotation form. Basically, it's a tabulation sheet of the quotes that are received, and it is signed by the person who's obtaining those quotes. This is just an example of what the quotes look like, and this is a purchase order that is generated on the system. Now, when we have procurements above the threshold of 35,000, as per Government Code Section 252.041, sealed bids or sealed formal bids or proposals are required to be published in the newspaper, the local newspaper, at least 2 consecutive weeks, and 14 days. It says that in the newspaper, and the last publication should be at least 14 days prior to the opening of the bids. When delaying the formal, with dealing with formal or informal bids, the decision to select the bid is based on a combination of price, quality, delivery time, and service reputation. The bid will only be awarded to the low responsible bid, but the city reserves the right to reject any and all bids and reopen the bidding process if it is in the city's best interest. Also, there's information about Government Code 252.021 about sealed bids. This is a sample of how it looks on the newspaper. This is the website, the purchasing website. Recently, we implemented the Texas bid system, where vendors go directly into this website. They have the option, when they click in there, they have the option of looking into the website and download bids for free. And there's another option where they pay an annual fee of $49.95, but they get automatic notification, but not only from the city, but from the state of Texas, any other entity that's also in that website. This is a screenshot of what it looks on the website, or any open bids. Tabulation sheets are also uploaded on the system. This is what a front cover page of a bid package looks like. It's got the name of the project, the bid number, the pre-bid meeting date and time, and the due date. These are just examples of acknowledgments of receipt and information that is required. This is a copy or an example of a bid form. This is a signing sheet example. This is a tabulation, and of course the recommendations from the departments. What we do at purchasing, when we receive bids, we tabulate the information. We send it to each department user with the information, and we request the recommendation based on the tabulation sheet. And of course, we create an agenda, and we create the procurement analysis that is presented before City Commission. Under Chapter 252-043, it talks about best value. It says if a competitive sealed bidding requirement applies to the contract for goods or services, the contract must be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder, or to the bidder who provides goods or services at the best value for the municipality. So in determining the best value of the municipality, it might consider the purchase price, the reputation of the bidders, goods and services, the relationship with the municipality, the long term of the cost to the municipality to acquire the bidder's goods and services, et cetera, et cetera. This is just a continuation of what it means. And it says competitive bidding means letting the available vendors compete with each other to provide goods and or services. In our case, the bidding process has two additional purposes. Number one, to ensure that the public monies are spent properly, legally, and for public projects only, and that the best possible value is received for the money. Second, to give those qualified and responsible vendors who desire to do business with the City of Brownsville a fair and equitable opportunity to do so. There shall be no prohibition on geographical preference for procurement solicitations except from federal funded projects, and those are like projects for bus where there's requirements from FTA, FAA, and federal funded projects. Now we also our municipality, sometimes when we have projects for construction, we allow local preference. If you see at the bottom, you will see that on Chapter Government Code 271.9051, the consideration of location of bidder's principal place of business is permitted. So that means that local vendor whose bid is within the 5% of the lowest bid price received from the vendor who is not a local resident of the municipality in the amount of less than $100,000 for construction, or a contract for other purchases in the amount of less than $500,000. So we typically do this when we have a local vendor who is within 5% of the lowest bid. And it just talks about late bids, identical bids, request for proposals. That's another one. Request for proposals is allowed under Local Government Code Section 252.042. It also requires notice to be placed in the local newspaper once a week for 2 consecutive weeks, usually or typically for procuring high technology product services. That's basically what proposals are for. The specifications is written using performance standards rather than the description of the goods and services. And the award is based on the highest scoring vendor based on the criteria established on the RFP. Now, during the contents is not to be disclosed during the process, so it needs to be kept confidential during the process. proposals are treated different than competitive bids in that there are additionally steps that have to be completed before the proposals are ready for final consideration by City Commission. So once again, the proposals the proposals should be evaluated using a set of weighted factors. Okay, so it's not typically like a sealed bid where you recommend the lowest bid. On proposals, you don't go by price only. This is a sample of what an RFP looks like. Once again, the name of the proposal, the name, the number, the pre-proposal meeting, the due date, acknowledgements of receipt. We create this form to know who's participating and who's not. Just a sample. These are the samples of the RFPs. This is an evaluation score sheet. Okay, this is what we use to score the proposals. So if you notice, we don't base a recommendation only on price. Now the beauty, these are some of the certificates included on the proposal. This is a score sheet. Okay, the grades. Now, on statements of qualifications, a government entity might not select a provider of professional services or a group of association of providers or award a contract for these services, but shall make the selection and award. That means that when you select, in this case, the statements of qualifications are for professional services. So you don't select a professional. You don't ask for a price. You select them based on qualifications. That's what it means. This is an example of an SOQ. These are the score sheets on the evaluation, almost the same as a proposal. The thing is, the difference between a proposal and a statement of qualification. On the statements of qualifications, once we score the submittals, we pick and choose the highest ranked firm. Once we select the highest ranked firm, then we can enter into negotiations. So at the end, that's the last phase, the negotiation of the services. And this is just an example of the best and final offer of one of the professional services. This is a list under Government Code, Chapter 2254, that applies to professional services. This is a list of most of the professional services that require to be qualified. It talks about also about engineering and architectural services, okay? And I believe I included this on the previous package. Now, this is a policy to protect city against financial loss, which is the bonds. We have three different types of bonds, which the number one is a bid bond, the next one is a performance bond, and the last one is a payment bond. And they're all, the last two are under Government Code, Chapter 2253. Basically, often bid packages require that any bidder submitting bonds or certificate checks in a fixed percentage amount of 5%, that's what we typically have, of the bid at the time of the bid opening. Now, this is important to know. In the event that the bidder selected does not perform according to the terms of the bid, the city retains the amount as liquidated damages. So that's what it's for. It's a liquidated damages, okay, for non-performance. So that means if we receive a package or a bid or a proposal that requires a bid bond, and then at the end, once we get ready to select that particular vendor, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to proceed with it, then we have the right to keep that 5% as a liquidated damage. So that's what it's for. Then on performance bonds, the performance bond under Chapter 2253 is basically to guarantee that the work will be done according to the specifications and in the time specified. The payment bond is to protect the city against liens which might be granted to suppliers of materials and labor to the bidders in the event that the bidder does not make the proper payment to its vendor. So it's basically to protect the city. Bonds are to be executed with surety company authorized to do business in the state of Texas. and bonds shall be made payable to the city of Brownsville. That's a requirement. There's general exemptions under government code. In this case, in local government code, chapter 252.022 talks about those general exemptions. Sole source procurements are authorized typically for goods or services only available from only one source, or as captive goods or services directly related to an existing equipment, item, or system. Now, over here, there's a list of some of the exemptions under Government Code 252.022. Some of this we see every day when we issue POs, like the purchase of food for resale, procurement for items that are available only from only one source, like copyright equipment, secret processes, natural monopolies, patent items, captive replacement parts of components for equipment, et cetera, et cetera. Then we have state and local contracts. These are some of the methods of construction allowed for our municipality. And these are competitive bids, competitive seal proposals, design build contract, construction manager agent, construction manager at risk, and the last one is job order contracting. The last one, which is job order contracting, is not for new construction. Interlocal and cooperative purchasing programs. This we use, and sometimes I come before this commission on several contracts. For example, HGAC, BIBOR, Texmas, U.S. Communities, and there's a list at the end. It says, "Might agree with another local government or with the state or the state agency, including the General Service Commission, to purchase goods and services." We also have GSA. And this is a list of interlocal and cooperative networks. And then this is a list of the federal, state, and local agencies that audit the purchasing department. So we're always getting audited by different entities. We just finished one audit by FDA. So that's basically completes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. I know in the
Thank you.
last several months, many of us on this commission have had numerous questions.
Yes, ma'am.
We've had numerous meetings with you on an individual basis, including members of your staff and your administration. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for addressing all our concerns. I know that certain policies and procedures have since been implemented to address many of our concerns, and we thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing the progress within your department.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other
Thank you,
questions or
Commissioners.
comments from the commission?
No, I just want to also echo Commissioner Zamora's comment and thank Jeff and Charlie for taking measures to address the issues that were present.
Thank you. And we're looking to continually implement a lot of the information. We also look at the new legislation, and we try to be, be always aware of what's coming up, what's updated on legislation, and getting trained. Thank you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate your time and your comments. And you really did help us through this process of finding ways of improving our city's purchasing policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kabler. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Public comment.
Public comment. Do we have any public commenters?
Thank
Who
you.
probably did earlier and they left. None? Move
Want to adjourn?
Second.
We don't
Do I have a
have
second?
second.
All right, thank you. That concludes our workshop.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.